Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Daily Stock Market End of Day Update. Starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin bulls are in control. You can see this candle, this 1 day candle. And if I show you 1 hour, you can see this pump right where I was telling everybody, people who are following me, people who are watching my channel, they know exactly what I was telling. 3% pump, and you can go check my videos from last week. Every day I'm telling you, what did I tell you? I told you I see green line above red line and I see green dot. I don't see a red dot. As long as I don't see a red dot, that's good. You should be buying on support. And today we got 3% bounce. Amazing bounce on Bitcoin. And we are still holding this support very, very nicely. And you can see right now, you can see we made a new low or equal lows with divergence on PPO and RSI, which is a very, very bullish sign. And Bitcoin is looking very good. And it's holding. I see no chances of dump now. I see this support is holding, multiple support here, support here, support here, and you can see vertical support. Bitcoin is holding very, very well. And from here, it looks like Bitcoin is ready to pump and break this resistance. All right. So that's what I'm expecting. And there are no indications of anything other than that. Ethereum, same thing, held this support very, very nicely. Almost, let's go to 1 hour chart and see what is this pump percentage. You can see from this support. So this one almost 2.5% before we got a pump of 3%. Very, very nice bounce on Ethereum. And same thing, I got a green dot. I told you guys green line is above red line. And now we are looking for a bounce, and you can see we're getting that bounce, and Ethereum is also looks like it's on its way to go and cross around this previous resistance around 1900. Okay, so congratulations to everybody who listened to me, and very, very nice prediction so far. And let's go look at S&P 500 SPY ETF. These are EMA lines. This is daily chart. You can see we made a new high, and then we made a low, then higher low, and then another high. We broke out, and now we are back testing. And if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see, let me go to regular trading hours. You can see we gap down. This was a gap down, and I can even show you hide these lines, so you can see clearly we had a gap down. We still did not fill this gap. This gap is around 445.76. Another gap, this happened on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, we gapped down 449.14. There are two gaps, and this third gap now, which is above 456. This is Fitch downgrade gap. I'm predicting we are going from here to fill these three gaps, and SPY is heading almost 2.6% higher from here. And if I go to daily chart, if I bring back this EMA lines, you can see very nicely SPY, which is it had a breakout. Now coming, this is yellow line is 50 EMA line, daily 50 EMA line, came and found support here. Now it's getting ready to go higher, and I think, in my opinion, we are going higher to at minimum fill this previous gap of 456. Okay, so nothing else here. I think everything is looking great on SPY, and I'm very bullish. And triple Qs, you can see very similar, and triple Qs kind of broke below this trend line. You can see triple Qs. If I hide this EMA lines, you can see what happened here. Triple Q's gap down below this support line, and triple Q's Nasdaq ETF. Now there's another possibility. Just to let you know, I was telling you yesterday, if you watch my video, I said it's possible if you break down, it could come all the way down here, find support, and then bounce. If not, bounce from here. So it's coming now here. Tomorrow, it is worst case, it is possible we will go down a little bit more down and then bounce, but we might have already seen that bounce. And if I show you EMA lines, I want to show you something very important here. You can see this is yellow line, which is 50 EMA, and this yellow line, which is 20 EMA. And now triple Qs are closing above both of these critical support. And if I go to 1 hour chart, there are multiple gaps which now needs to be filled on triple Qs. You can see this gap here. We went gap down, recovered entire day, still did not fill this gap. This gap is around 373. Second gap is around 377, and third gap is around 382, and fourth gap is around 385. So from here triple Qs are going to be filling all four gaps in my opinion, and these four gaps are around 3.6% away. First gap, which is today's gap, gap down, it's 0.47% away. Wednesday gap down is 1.55% away, and third gap at minimum 2.3, let's say around 3% away. So these are my targets, and I don't recommend shorting right now here. And since now it's bouncing from the critical support, you can see short term it's making higher lows, higher highs, and this could be another higher low before we go and close all these gaps. Okay, there are multiple gaps. I've never seen in an index so many gaps left open in such a short time. Okay, let's look at Dow Jones, which is DIA ETF, and let me quickly find it. It's here, and you can see Dow Jones is the only index which closed green, and you can see my projections here. It's finding resistance right here around 50 EMA, so I really want this to close above that. It's right around 345.86. If Dow Jones closes above that tomorrow, I think it's getting ready to go to another all-time high, and there's another gap here around 351, so those are my target. IWM Russell ETF, it is supposed to hold this support, today broke down, which is bearish, but it's quite possible that this is a stop rate, and now we are getting ready to go higher. So if I'm going to be bullish on S&P 500, it's not going to go by itself. I think all entire market will follow along. So I think from here we are heading higher to probably go and fill this gap. Let's see how high we go. But you can see even on Russell, there's also gap here, multiple gaps on Russell. So which is very rare to see in an index. So I think it's a very good time to buy Russell 2000, which is list of 2000 small companies in America. Let's quickly look at gold. Gold, you can see a little bit of bounce, but it's getting rejected. So let's see if it's another higher low before it goes higher. But just remember, there's a gap here around 1870. I think that gap will be filled. I'm not sure when. You can see this blue line. This is 200 SMA line. Gold is finding support right near 200 SMA line, and you can see every time it goes, it could go a little bit below that and then bounce, so just be mindful of that. So it is quite possible gold can still go a little bit lower and then go high, but any low you go, the lower we go the better it is, and it's going to be like a buying the dip situation, okay, on gold. And silver, very nicely now very close to this support. So this support is now from here around 1.36% away, so it's following this green line very nicely. So look to buy on the tags of this support. Since I'm talking about gold, let's quickly review gold miners. Biggest gold miner, Newmont Mine. You can see divergence. What does divergence mean? We're making a new low. You can see this low is lower than this low. So price is making lower low, but you can see on PPO this low is higher than this low. Okay, so this divergence. Even RSI, you can see this low is higher than this low. Okay, so price is going lower, but momentum indicators, these two are called momentum indicators, they're going higher. So that's telling you it's very good time to buy, and we could expect a breakout anytime. And Newmont Mine, there are multiple gaps to fill. It's at 52 weeks low almost. So this is where you should be looking to buy stocks like these. Gold miners. I was telling you there's 1 hour chart, there's a gap here. Now that gap is still not filled. So from here, I'm still expecting a little bit more downside. So from here, maybe around 1% down, that will be great time to buy around 28 bucks. So look to buy gold miners around that time. Natural gas, massive bounce today, almost 3% away, and now holding this trend line very, very nicely. So just keep buying on the tags of this trend line, and I think it's ready. It's already, the bottom is in. So it's just any tags of this trend line, look to buy natural gas. Crude oil, massive bounce. It can come down to touch this support, so that's quite possible. So if it touches support, like if it comes down from here, let me show you, it could come down, find support here and then go high. So look to buy, it's buy the dip now. It's very bullish chart on gold or crude oil. Dollar a little bit higher, but right on the resistance zone. And this is what I'm expecting dollar to weaken and gold and other stocks to go higher. Okay, I already covered crypto. And let's look at Apple. Massive gap down. You can see this trend line. Good news is we still closed above this trend line. Now, if I go to 1 hour chart, there are multiple gaps on Apple to close. So you can see we had a massive gap down. There's some news with China not allowing government officials to use iPhone in the in the China country. So that's treated as very bearish, but this gap is still around 2.2% away, and then there are other gaps here around 3.63% away. Then this gap is around 7.36, and then this Fitch downgrade gap ultimately around almost 10% away. So there is a possibility if you can hold Apple, I think Apple is ready to go and go 10% higher from here, okay? And you can see this big gap, this which this today gap fill at minimum we are going around 2% away to fill this gap, okay? So just be mindful of that, and it's right on support, and you want to buy right on support. And let's look at other stocks. Tesla holding the support line very nicely, nothing changed. Getting ready to fill this gap at 255.95, and then finally this earnings gap around 291. Microsoft not able to go above this trend line, but it's holding above all these support lines. You can see all support lines are stacking together, and that's gonna be very bullish. And I think Microsoft is ready for a massive bounce from here. And I think from here it can go and make even a new high. All right, so don't be very bearish yet. Google above all EMA lines. You can see I draw this green line, broke out, back tested this support. Now I think it's getting ready to go to new high from here. So very bullish on Google I am. Meta, which is Facebook, holding this trend line very nicely. You can see support here, and also it's also above all the EMA lines. So you can see today it dipped to 50 EMA yellow line, and then it held, and now I think it's getting ready to go higher. Amazon up, massive bullish candle 1.84. This is an engulfing candle. What does engulfing candle mean? That means price action is gone from below previous price action, and it's taken over the whole previous price action. So this is like an engulfing candle. Even it took two candles away, okay? Very bullish, and now it came back to this support trend line. I think it's ready to go to new all-time highs. Netflix also holding this support very nicely. Nothing changed. Any tags of support to look to buy Netflix. Snowflake's looking nice. Massive candle, and you can see it gap down and massively. It's facing some resistance around this 50 EMA line. If it closes above that around 167.27, I think it's going to be getting ready to for touching all these previous gap fills. NVDA down 1.74%, another gap down. But the good news is it's holding this trend line very nicely. Support. So I think NVIDIA, you want to buy on a tag of support, and there's gap to fill. So I think it's getting ready for a pump. AMD down 2%. There was a gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart, it had to fill that gap. You can see this gap here. It was here around 106. It was filled in the morning. Now we have a gap left at the top. So AMD still struggling a little bit, and it really needs to close above this white EMA line, and ultimately above this 50 EMA line 109.19 to be bullish. But still this could be another low before it starts pumping higher from here. So if market pumps, then this is also going to pump with it, okay? Toronto Stock Exchange, another gap here. So I don't know if it's going to come all the way to fill this gap. It's below all moving averages. So if it comes below around 198.72 to fill that gap, that's where you should be looking to buy. And it's going to be getting ready to go to new all-time high later on. Hang Seng Index finding resistance right where it should. Try to recover, found resistance on this 50 downward sloping EMA line, and now going lower. So do not be bullish until we close above that. And let's see commodities very quick. Copper is coming very close to the support. Look to buy it. Bond market bouncing from making a higher low. Looking good. TLT is where you should be looking to buy. And Palladium right in the support. This is where you want to buy Palladium. Right in the massive support. You can see bullish falling wedge with higher momentum on PP and RSI. Broke out of this wedge and now finding support here. Wheat. Again, another tag, trying to tag this, gave everything away from yesterday, but you need to look to buy on the tag of this trend line. So any tags, look to buy wheat. Corn still struggling, but it's trying to find bottom. This is bottom forming price action. You can see momentum is going higher, and corn is not able to break below this. So corn is right now, I don't have the futures here, but corn is looking like almost close to many multiple years low right now here. So good time to buy. Soybeans in the buy zone. So this is where you want to buy soybeans, SOYB ETF. Sugar almost getting ready to make new all-time high. I was telling you this is buy the dip, so came back. Now it's getting ready to go to new all-time high. All right, so let's look at sectors. XLK holding support nicely, and let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is filled, so I can delete this, and it gap down. So, oh, sorry, this is not filled. This is another gap down here. So I'm looking for that gap to fill. So it's like now here below this support trend line. So I'm going to delete this now. So it doesn't make any sense now. So, but it's finding support around 50 EMA. So same as SPY, looking for a bounce. XLE energy sector looking for this gap to fill before a bounce. Healthcare sector kind of flat, gave away all the gains. Still this gap there at around 137.72, look to fill that gap. And worst case, it can even come to this trend line. So I'm not very bullish on healthcare and utility stock this year because they did good in bear market. I'm only bullish on tech stocks. Um, XLU massive gap up. I think it can come down, fill this gap, and then go higher from here. XLI, it's below all the supports, which is not good, but still it's higher than this previous low. So look to buy this dip. And real estate sector, massive bounce today. But any dips on this trend line, look to buy along around that. Financials, very close to this trend line support. So a little bit more lower buy on this trend line. And KRA regional bank ETF, I draw this, so a little bit more gap. There's a gap here, a little bit more downside from here. 42.41, that will be a good area to buy. So from here, maybe around 1.4% lower before it goes higher. All right, guys, and I'm going to share zones through my magic indicator. And this morning, if you watch my pre-market trading, I was telling you guys this is in a great buying zone right now. By the way, guys, subscribe to my channel. It's very cheap. It's only like $7 a month, and you can make profits for the entire subscription fee in one trade. Like this morning, if you can see, I was posting in pre-market session that we are in the buy zone. S&P 500 is near third standard deviation. Nasdaq in pre-market, I said it just does third standard deviation, and I was telling everybody to buy. And also, there's a Discord group in the description of this video. It's a free chat group. You can chat with me directly. I was posting charts there for all my subscribers. So go ahead and join that. It costs you nothing, and if you want to ask me special questions, you can always send a message in the Discord group. Okay, so you can see zones here. US 100, Nasdaq is near neutral. White line is neutral zone. Green line is buy zone. It's closing near neutral zone. So if it comes down tomorrow here around 15205, look to buy. US 500, which is S&P 500, is also same thing. If it closes below 43.88, if it goes below 44.38, look to buy here. Dow Jones is in the neutral zone. Russell 2000 is very close to buy zone, so I prefer Russell 2000 out of all other indexes. And Apple, you can see one of the stocks I shared in my Discord group that this is near third standard deviation. This is perfect time to buy, and we got massive bounce. So from the low today to the bounce today, almost 2.5% bounce. Okay, and everybody in the Discord group caught it. So very good trades. Also other stocks, also they were touching buy zones. I was sharing with other friends in the Discord group. So go ahead and join it. And on your way out, please hit the like button. I really appreciate. Share this channel with friends and family. And I wish you a great rest of the day. Bye.